Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. Today is Monday, February 26th. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? I'm just here chilling in Hollywood, California at the new paper-thin wall apartment. Let's see. I'm 26 days into my new apartment, so I have about 11 months left till I can leave. Yes. That's the nightmare I'm in right now. Paper thin walls. That's what happened. My own bit cursed me. I got a bit about you should be able to test ride apartments before you move in. Find out what kind of piece of shit the apartment is. And here it is. I'm lit. Looked like a dream apartment. Everything was beautiful, perfect location. Big size, got a pool. Oh, this is great. And then you move in and, fucking paper thin walls. What a fucking nightmare, What a nightmare. But yeah, I gotta live with it. That's how it is. It's like I got a new goal now. I'm gonna sell everything I own, and try to buy some one bedroom, something, a one bedroom little box somewhere. I'm at that point in my life. It's time to do something somehow. Anyway, yeah, man. And everybody's like, can't you do something? Like put some soundproofing up or something? No, man. This place was built in the 40s, so it should be completely bulletproof and thick walls and, but it's not. They somewhere along the way took out the stucco walls when people thought those were ugly in the 80s or 90s and remodeled it with thin sheetrock. And you could just hear your neighbors. Yesterday, my neighbor played Personal Jesus, Depeche Mode on repeat for about an hour. I almost shot myself. Anyway, so as Mark Maron said, you're probably going to get funnier from it and stronger. I'll look at it as that positivity from it, and also to drive me to got to get better, got to work harder so I can get the fuck out. At least I'm out of the valley, and that's all I can say. I am out of the valley. A lot of people would be like, oh, what's so bad about the valley? It's just, it just was not for me. Anyway, that's a little update on the apartment life right there. Good things, though, happen. And it's funny, the juxtapose of like super bad luck and super good luck are just running side by side with me lately. Bad luck, horrible, thin walls. Good luck, did like 10 fucking spots this week doing stand-up. And that's what happens. I always said if you want to mine for gold, you got to be in the river. And living in this neighborhood close to the comedy clubs, I'm in the river. And I'm getting all kinds of work, which is great. Let's see here. Hope you guys had a great weekend. How the hell are you? I'm still wearing these incredible Mack Weldon underwear I was telling you guys about. Not the same pair the whole time. I'm not wearing. I've been known to wear the same underwear 3-4 days in a row. I'm not afraid. There's no one around that's going to judge me. I'm single. I live alone. It's not going to be like, are you wearing the same clothes? Absolutely. That's the freedom of being single and not answering to anybody. Don't have to clear the history on your computer. You don't have to change your clothes. You can eat cereal for dinner, whatever the fuck you want to do. But anyway, I got my Mack Weldons on, and I can't tell you how much these underwear are great. Go to the website and get some, guys. No more truck stop underwear for me. I used to get the 3-pack all the time at Target or wherever. It didn't matter. I just hear that this is underwear, and I'd grab it, and a 5-pack of socks. Never again. It's like the Valley. Never again. Mack Weldon, incredible. Made of this amazing material that helps you stay fresh and so clean. Yeah, man, Mack Weldon. Go check him out. Go to the website. Punch in the code ROCK and get yourself some Mack Weldon underwear with a special discount for all you Dell raisers. I love them. I love them. I wouldn't be doing the ad if I didn't love them. Thank you, guys. Check it out. Also, my guest today is Magnus Walker, and that's going to be all kinds of Porsche talk. So another great sponsor for this episode will be TLG Auto. TLG Auto is right here in Los Angeles. And if you're buying a Porsche or you own a Porsche, go to TLG Auto. Tell them you heard about it here. If you're going to buy a Porsche, you got to have it checked out. Get a mechanic to check it out first. Make sure you're not buying a complete money pit. And TLG will help you with that. My boy Marco over there is a Porsche master. A master of the 911, the 914, all your favorites, the 912. Anyway, go see TLG Auto. Look them up. They're right in Los Angeles, and get your Porsche service there. Great episode. Like I said, Magnus is here. We talk about being 50 or over 50 years old, what that means to us. We talk about cars, of course, rock and roll, traveling. I love having this guy on. It's the second time he's been on. We both have very, very similar passions and tastes of stuff. You know, we love Porsche. We love rock and roll. We love rock clothing. And we love New York, it turns out. We both have been spending a lot of time in New York lately. So you're going to love this episode. And if you'd never heard him on the first one, definitely go back and listen to that one too and hear his life story. Yesterday was a 1-year anniversary of losing a good friend, Mr. Bill Paxton. I cannot believe it's been a year. I miss this man, and it was incredibly rough to take for a long time. I had him on the podcast, and about a week later, he passed away, and I still can't believe he's gone. You know, go out there and watch one of his films this week, and just it'll put a smile on your face. The guy was a complete ninja of acting, man. The guy was just a surgeon. And he was definitely one of my favorite interviews of all time. And the depth and knowledge he had of film and TV was just incredible. And another man that was just filled with passion for what he did. And I miss the man so much. Bill Paxton, I love you, man. Let's see. Going to get into the episode right now. I want to tell you some shows coming up before I do. Buffalo, I'm coming your way. March 8, 9, and 10 with Steve Renazizi. Buffalo at the Helium Comedy Club. New York City, I will be there from March 11th through the 24th at the Stand. And also doing Nyack with Joey Diaz out there in New York City, Nyack. And that is on the 21st. Of March. What else do I got coming up? I'll be in Nashville with Bill Burr. Nashville with Bill Burr at the Ryman Theater on 4/20 and 21. And this just in, one of the most incredible shows I've put together. And I think you guys are all going to lose your mind. If you live in Los Angeles, even if you don't, get a flight out for April 3rd. Because April 3rd at a venue called the Avalon Theater in Hollywood, which used to be the famous Palace, I am doing a tribute to Bon Scott. Tickets are on sale now, and the links are on my Twitter and Instagram. Tribute to Bon Scott. What we're going to do is we're going to do about an hour and a half of comedy and an hour and a half of music. The comedy is Bill Burr, Mark Maron, Joey Diaz, and myself. And then the rock and roll, we're doing a tribute to Bon. We're playing the entire Power Age record from top to bottom with some extra tracks also, some secret stuff. I can't tell you everything, but the all-star jammers are Nikki Sixx, Scott Ian, Greg Dooley, Michael Devin, Rudy Sarzo, Chris Goss. Who else we got here? Jesse Hughes and Dave Ketching, Eagles of Death Metal. Steve Gorman on the drums from the Black Crowes. Dave Kushner from Velvet Revolver. Burr will be playing some drums. Mark Maron will be playing some guitar. My man Josh Z, the king of Angus Young licks, will be lead guitar. Billy Rowe on rhythm guitar. This is going to be a night you will not want to miss. April 3rd at the Avalon. I hope to see you guys all there. It's been a lot of work to put this together, but definitely going to be worth it. I love you guys. Let's keep the candles lit. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in my Twitter feed. Here we go. Let's get it on right now. Get out and drive with Mr. Magnus Walker. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Let There Be Talk, and I do have a fantastic guest today. Today is the return of a good friend of mine, Mr. Magnus Walker. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Dean, I'm great. It's good to be here in Hollywood. It's been a long time since I've been here, so just in the neighborhood for the Hollywood Beard Convention. Thought I'd check out the Thin Wall apartment and take a trip down memory lane into old school Hollywood.
Yeah, man. Last time I had you on, your story was incredible. It just blew my mind. You moved out here and started a clothing line and everything, and then you sold it. And your life is, it reminds me a lot of mine, you know. I played rock and roll and then now I do comedy. You know, you just never know where you're going to be, you know?
Well, that's the great thing about the journey of life, right? I was seeing on your Instagram post the other day, you're doing some Bon Scott tribute coming up.
I am. You want to go? April 3rd?
April 3rd, if I'm in town, for sure.
Yeah, you got to come. It's going to be...
How old would Bon Scott be today? 70-something?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, he passed away a couple days ago on the 19th of 38 years ago.
Right.
So
he died in 1980, but
1980.
How old was he when he died? Wasn't he like 30,
33 or so, 35?
We could probably Google that, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Bon Scott, Wikipedia, but yeah, he's got to be in his 70s, I guess.
Yeah, man. It would be interesting to see if he is still alive.
What would he be doing? He'd probably still be rocking, right? I mean, look.
I believe that.
Didn't Alice Cooper just turn 70?
Yeah, and also Bond's a guy that, you know, he's not going to get a job or become a record producer or something.
No, I mean, it's crazy when you look back at those videos from the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, first time I saw AC/DC was 84, Monsters of Rock Festival, Donington, England.
Yeah.
I think back, that's, 34 years ago now.
Yeah, that's Brian Johnson.
Yeah, crazy. I remember buying Back in Black when it first came out.
Me too.
That was actually the first AC/DC album I bought.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 50. I'm turning 51 this year. So last year, I was born 67.
Yeah.
So turned 50, so a whole different sort of outlook on life. It's funny, people say age is just a number, but to me, it's like, I don't know, new chapter, next chapter.
I believe that, too. That's good that you talk about that because I've lived this life kind of where I've never cared about really owning anything or anything. But I'm really in this chapter in my life and where I don't want to have anything.
Less is more.
Yeah, you know?
I've been traveling a lot recently. And a few things of, over the past 2-3 years, a lot of travel where I'm probably only in LA 1 week a month. I'm literally here for a week and then I go off to Europe on this journey for a month, which we can talk about. But the point to what I'm saying is, it's weird. When I came back to LA, I flew in from New York on Monday at midnight. Tuesday, I go over to the warehouse, walk over there, and I put keys in my pocket for the first time in like 3 weeks. And
yeah.
It's kind of like a strange feeling. There were certain things I missed, obviously the cars, but, when you travel, I disconnect.
Me too.
I don't really check in on anything that's going on with my LA life. It's like I just disconnect from it and become sort of this nomadic gypsy traveler where now I'm just... The freedom to me is not even having a return ticket.
Right.
I'll book a one-way ticket somewhere because it's so irritating to actually... Plans change, and I've got the freedom to go wherever I want when I want. So sometimes you end up extending your stay, and it's irritating that it's actually cheaper just to throw away that return ticket and buy a one-way from wherever you are.
You're so right.
So now, unless Porsche's flying me somewhere around the world, if I'm going on my own dime, I'm just booking a one-way ticket there, and freedom is come back whenever I want.
As you, what I find when I travel, and especially I've been in New York a lot lately in the last couple of years, and the last time I was in New York for almost 4 months on and off, but a good long run. And you said you missed your cars, but, once you're gone for a while, I don't miss anything. Like, I've really whittled it down in here right now, and I kind of want to get rid of even more. And people kind of think you're crazy when you say stuff like that. Have you noticed that?
Well, to me, you're sounding like a New Yorker.
Yeah.
When I first came to the States, 19 years old, 1986, I flew into New York. Recently, I've been spending a lot of time in New York and hanging out in the East Village and getting my steps in. What I love about New York is you can walk 15, 20,000 steps easy, no problem. But what I really love about New York is a few things. I mean, the diversity, the people, the culture. Every block has got at least 1 or 2 bars, coffee shops, restaurants on it. You never have to eat in the same place ever.
Yep.
You know, I love going from the East Village down to the Lower East Side, downtown Chinatown, exploring that whole area.
Soho.
Yeah, I mean, Soho I was always sort of a big fan of. One of my favorite things in New York, truth be told, is walking the High Line.
Yeah.
And I started at the Javits Center and walked it all the way down into Meatpacking by the Standard there in, Gansevoort, 14th Street. And it's just, there's always something inspiring about New York.
I know.
And it really ticks all the senses. I think because you're walking and interacting with people, it's the sound, the smell, the sight. But like I say, you can just keep going. I mean, one day I literally walked from 59th Street, Central Park, all the way down, did the High Line, walked all the way down to the Lower East Side, walked over the Brooklyn Bridge to Brooklyn, and then back to the East Village. And I did like 30,000 steps that day. And it happened to be a day when I was flying to Bahrain to do something with Porsche, which was cool, but it was a good way to go. But I think that's a real New York thing, and I'm sort of getting into that vibe as well of less is more. You know, you sort of collect all these items and possessions, but you can't take them with you. You can't travel with you.
You can't.
And so for me now, it's like the most important thing, get a passport, you know, good health, and then like if someone said to me tomorrow, let's go to Kuwait, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I got my passport on me, and that to me is the ultimate freedom. So, someone asked me yesterday, what does success mean to you? I was doing another podcast. It's my week of talking, I guess. And he goes, what does success mean to you? And I said, and the guy was really cool. He was from Kuwait, 26-year-old kid. He's got this thing called Legend Diary.
Right.
And I was doing a little podcast similar to what we're talking about. He goes, what does success mean to you? I go, kind of the freedom to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. Meaning, if someone said tomorrow, let's go to Kuwait, I got a passport. I'm ready to go. I'm not anchored down to anything.
That's what it is. It's freedom, man. It's really freedom. And I think the weird thing is like you said, we collect all these things, you know, like I'm going through it and I'm like, I mean, I really threw away a lot of stuff that I had carted. I saw over 25 years to a place, to a place, to a place. And I was like, why do I still have this stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was thinking a similar thing today about all these possessions that I've got. And in reality, they all mean something, but yet they're just there gathering dust.
They are.
And like when I travel with my little 277 Hot Wheels in my pocket, right? The one that's gone around and got all beat up, which is actually in my jacket. But
yeah,
I don't really take anything with me. I travel real light.
Me too,
carry
backpack.
On now. I don't bother checking luggage.
Nope.
Like, I wear the same thing all the time, so it doesn't really matter.
Me too.
I got 2 pairs of Doc Martens, which are the most comfortable shoes that I can walk the 30,000 steps in, but still drive in.
Yep.
So it's kind of like narrowed stuff down, and then I come back to LA, which is always great, but I go, wow, I do have a lot of stuff here. It's like you got a room full of boxes here that I understand what you're saying. He's like, are you going to unpack it or not, right?
Well, I look at it. I look at this room full of boxes, and I'm like, I've whittled it down. You know, this is the new place, and I'm thinking like,
I love what you've done with it. I mean, you got so much stuff on the walls and the color palette and, you know, that fresh paint smell and fresh carpet.
Well, you know, my original plan was to move in here, and I was going to make that whole wall. This apartment has a giant long wall. It was going to be like a rock and roll museum. That was going to be all the photos of my life on this long fucking wall. And then after being in here for one night, I go, oh, I won't be living here.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm starting to sound like a crazy person, I'm sure, to my friends. You know, they're like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you going through a midlife crisis? Like, no, man, I'm just trying to get grounded into a spot where at 52, I think I'll live for the rest of my life.
Comfortable.
You know? Yeah, right? And my problem is I had an amazing place for 13 years and lost it because the owners moved their daughter in. So now I'm like, I want to try to buy something or something to where I'm the boss.
Yeah, I think the silver lining for you in what we're going to call the thin-walled apartment will be this will spur you on to go buy your own place, right?
Right.
And that'll be the place where you do your memorabilia, rock and roll,
Exactly.
wall, and live forever.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. And then when I go to that place, go with nothing but like a couch, and my artwork and a few things, and just make it this sparse kind
A
of
fresh start.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's that New York vibe. You always talk about New York apartments being like the size of a closet, right?
Yeah.
But yet there's something about that where you don't really need that much, even though we collect stuff over the years. And, I'm a collector, hoarder, kleptomaniac, all
I
the
know
stuff
you
that
are.
I've got. People send you stuff, right? I'm sure
yeah.
you get sent stuff all the time.
It's crazy.
Books and posters and
Yep.
memorabilia and
Oh.
knickknacks and stuff. And so, of course, you want to keep all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I've just got shelves of it everywhere.
I've been to your place, and yeah, I get it.
People send me all these books, which are great, but yet I look at them once, stick them on the coffee table, the pile's like 2 feet high, and I never dig through them again.
You think that you could actually, you yourself, get rid of everything at your place? Like, it would take years for what you got, right?
I guess you have a big yard sale, right? I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I think about it, it's like I got all those cars and I love them and everything, but yet with all the travel, it's a phase that I'm going through right now. I'm on
Right.
this journey.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going really, but I've been on it for the past 2 years, 2.5 years. So I don't know. Sometimes I think about, do I really need all those cars?
Yeah.
But then you get in one, you go drive it, and you go, well, it's all about variety, but yet you can't travel with them. So I've been driving a lot of what I call OPP, other people's Porsches
Yeah.
and other people's cars.
Yep.
But for me, travel is great. Last year I did a couple of great things. One of them was I did 2 legs of this rally with Porsche where they were debuting this new Cayenne, and it was an 18,000 kilometer drive from Argentina to Mexico City.
Wow.
And I said, I'd love to be part of that. They said, well, you can do whatever leg you want. I said, well, show me where it's going. It went through various countries. And I said, Colombia. It's going from Bogota to Medellin. I go, I'll drive that leg, and then I'll do the final,
narco run.
The narco run. So I started binge watching Narcos. And I tell you, it was one of the most fun drives I've ever done. It was in not a new Cayenne. It was basically a stock Cayenne, current model, not the new one.
Yeah.
But it was loaded up with 4 people, me, the co-driver, 2 journalists, 2 spare wheels, everyone's luggage, weighed about 5,000 pounds. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever gone to Colombia and done this drive from Bogota to
Nope.
Medellin, but I'll sum it up for anyone that lives in LA. It's kind of like a long version of Topanga Canyon
Whoa, rad.
that goes on for hundreds of kilometers. But the difference is this mountain road, and the altitude there is pretty high. It's 12,000, 14,000
Wow,
feet.
like Vail Pass or something.
Yeah, but on this twisty mountain road, you're behind like big rigs that are coming down the hill with timber, and these, I forget what they call them. It's like a chewer van or something,
Right.
loaded up with people, and an old beat up Toyota Corolla with 8 people on it. So it becomes a challenging drive with a car that's that heavy to pass. Like, you don't pass one car, you've got to pass 12 of them
Right.
before you have the head-on collision with the big rig coming down the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, the road is narrower than this apartment that we're sat in.
Wow.
And the road surface is not great. But I often tell the story recently that was one of my top sort of 3 drives of last year, driving from Bogota to Medellin.
Did you guys film it?
Porsche did a little bit of filming with it.
And what was the drive for?
Well, basically, it was an introduction to the new Cayenne. So they were driving the current or old last year's model Cayenne, 18,500 kilometers from Argentina to Mexico City.
Right.
When the journey arrived in Mexico City, the final destination, that was when they released or debuted the new 2019 Cayenne.
Oh, right at the end there.
Right at the end. So I drove the final stage from Veracruz to Mexico City, which was also an awesome drive. Man, I don't know if you've ever been to Mexico City, but
No.
it's kind of like strange. It's like LA in a sense that it's really spread out.
Right.
But what surprised me, it's obviously super colorful, super green, but I didn't realize how hilly it was. A lot of these places are like, you were talking about Runyon Canyon. Mexico City's like a never-ending Runyon Canyon, but it's
Wow.
the surprising thing was the diversity, just there's like 28 million people there.
Yeah.
And some of these favelas look like they were put up over the weekend with cinder blocks without a permit, but there's a lot of character there and a lot of flavor. But
I love Mexico.
what really surprised me, yeah, I do too. I haven't spent much time there, but what really surprised me was there's a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a few people I met there with vast, really cool Porsche collections that I would never, ever have thought about
Holy
that
shit.
are under the radar. All these
Really?
old Carrera Panamericana cars that are down there. I think it's one of those things that the 0.11% of the population there has a vast amount of wealth.
Yeah.
And some great car
Shitloads of
collection.
badass cars
Yeah.
and homes. They got
Yeah.
crazy homes there.
Some super modern stuff that would be at home here in LA. But driving in Mexico City is crazy because no roads are straight. every time I've gone there, I went twice in the past 3 months.
Dirt or paved, a lot of it?
A lot of it's paved, but big potholes.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, it's pretty hilly, nothing's straight.
Yeah.
3 lanes merge into one. It rains real heavy. It's one of those things where there's a lot of indecisive drivers. So what's kind of fun about driving in Mexico City for me is you got to fight for every inch of the road. You can't let anyone in, because if you let someone in, then you end up getting cock-blocked because they stop and then they don't make the move, and then 3 people pass you. You go, why did I let that guy in?
You fuck yourself.
So the thing in Mexico City, from my point of view, is you just drive like a bat out of hell, like you're in Mad Max.
Yep.
You know, you don't let anyone in front of you, and you try and fight your way through the traffic. But I almost missed my flight out of Mexico City because the 8-mile drive, which should have took literally 45 minutes, ended up taking 2.5 hours.
That's funny.
It gets gridlocked down there.
That's funny you say that, too, because I think as much as I'm obsessed with cars, I can't take the traffic anymore, you know? And being in New York, that's another thing that's a real eye-opener. You're like, oh, I'm never in a car here.
Who owns a car in New York?
No one, you know? So that's why I moved to this area, because I can walk to the Comedy Store
Right.
and the Improv and
You're
kind
right
of
in the heart of it.
and kind of mimic a New York-style lifestyle. But
It's kind of like get out and walk. I mean, you talk about New York. I was just there. There are cool cars in New York, but
there's a lot of Porsches there.
driving in New York City is kind of strange in a way, because I don't know if you've done the loop that goes
Yeah.
around it, FDR
Yep.
up to the George Washington Bridge and back down. I guess he's like a infamous lap time of doing the loop.
Yeah.
And FDR's fun because, you know, if you're lucky, you can get up to some speed there, but that's also a fucked up surface driving
Oh,
you know,
totally.
up the East River and under, you know, the bridges and stuff. He's great. But there's not a lot of great driving. I don't think there's any great driving in New York City. It kind of is one of those emotional things, driving over the bridges, Brooklyn Bridge, Williamsburg
The
Bridge.
sights and all that.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
You know, I just took a drive up to Hudson Valley, and it's funny. I was drove north, and within 20 miles, you're in Hastings, right? Hastings on the Hudson.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see Manhattan. You go, wow, this is like a different world, and it's literally like 18 miles north of Manhattan. And then I went up to Bear Mountain and Hudson and Woodstock. And,
it's great up there.
Yeah, it is really great, but it really made me appreciate the great driving roads we have in LA.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we got Ocean, Desert Mountain,
Yeah, we got it all. We got Big Bear. We got Malibu.
Lake Arrowhead, Palm Springs, Tehachapi. You got all that stuff. I mean, a month ago, it rained pretty heavy. I'd just come back from somewhere. I went for a drive in that 924 I brought out today. And within 50 miles of downtown LA, up Angeles Crest Highway, I was in snow at 7,000 feet.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, and you kind of forget about that. You know, I mean, right now it's not New York cold, but it's kind of cold in LA.
Yeah, yeah. It
windy
was
and
got
chilly
down to
stuff.
the 30s last night, you know?
So, you know, if you get up to Newcomb's, 5,600 feet, or go 10 miles
Snow.
further, you're 7,000 feet up, you're in snow up there.
Oh, I remember one time I was doing a gig here at the Hollywood Improv on a Friday night at 7:30, and then I had like an 11 o'clock in Bakersfield. I wasn't even thinking, just got on the Harley and started boogieing. I got to the top of the grapevine and it started snowing.
Yeah.
And I'm
I've been
like,
caught out like that
I'm
too.
not even fucking thinking about
Prepared
it.
for it, right.
Now I'm freezing. My hands are frozen. I'm like, and I got to make it because I'm at that point in my career where I need the money.
Yeah,
You
you gotta
know?
keep going.
So I keep going, and I get there. There's like 8 people at the gig, and they go, we just do 20 minutes. We'll pay it. Now they pay me. I turn around and have to ride back
All the way
over
back.
it because I didn't want to get a hotel and lose the money I just earned.
made. Yeah.
Oh.
The Motel 6. Hey, the struggle is real, right?
Oh, the struggle is real,
The
man.
struggle is
real. It's.
And you know what? If you love doing it, though, right?
Oh no! See, that's
all
my
part of the
point.
journey.
That's my point. To own nothing, and because I found something that I absolutely love, which is stand-up comedy.
What do you love about it?
There's a thing about it that it's a lot like. I feel like there's 3 things. You're like a nomad. You're traveling around the states, and you just show up at a place. A lot of times people don't know who I am.
Right.
You know, and it's complete fucking strangers. You walk on stage, and in a couple minutes, you've got them, hopefully, you've got them laughing. This is something that is so bizarre feeling, I can't even explain to you. It'd be like if you were just... it would be like if you just showed up, say, in Oklahoma and started wrenching on a guy's car and he didn't even know you. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
I got to come and check out your show. I mean, I guess, do you take tailor your show to a different venue, or how does that routine work?
What you really want to do to be really good is have material
In the bank.
But do your material, and it works wherever you're at. Don't try to be hacky and change because this is an all white crowd, or this is an all Hispanic crowd, or an all urban crowd. Just go out and do your stuff.
Right.
Do your thing. If they like it, they come back.
Right.
If they don't, they don't. But the feeling of that, I think the thing I like about it most was I was 44 when I started. I'm 52 now, and at 40.
What made you start at 44?
What's that?
What made you start at 44?
I always wanted to do it my whole life.
People said you're a funny guy. You should do comedy.
I just felt like it was something. I made people laugh all the time, and I was playing rock. I played music all my life, and I didn't want to be comedy and music because to me that's like a sacrilege.
It's got to be one or the other.
Yeah, to me, and so then, finally, when I started doing it, a lot of people at 44, they think their life's over or whatever. All my friends were married with kids. I was just floating around Hollywood with, nobody wanted to do anything. They didn't want to go out anymore. I got soccer practice or whatever. So this comedy really, it rejuvenated my whole life. And here I am, 52. And I'm out there I'm doing comedy in New York and LA in the best clubs.
How many days a year do you do stand-up?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah, so 8 years now. I've done.
Where are you going tonight? Comedy Store?
Comedy Store. And
what time are you going tonight?
Let's see. Tomorrow night I'm at the Comedy Store, 10:30. You want to go?
That sounds like a great slot.
Oh, you got to go.
Friday night, 10:30.
Yeah, we'll hang out all
night.
night.
Way past my bedtime. But
10:30, really? What time do you go to bed?
It depends. If I'm traveling different time zone, I can function now on 3-4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I mean, the other night I was up till 3 a.m. Last night I went to bed at 11. So it's all over the place.
There's no rules.
No.
To me, it's just when my body says shut it down, I shut it down, Now,
are you working on new material all the time?
All the time.
Right.
All the time. Last
so you
night,
probably got some thin wall apartment jokes coming up.
I got them. Yeah. Yeah.
See, it's good for that as well, I guess.
It is good for that. It was funny. My buddy Mark Merritt said, it's going to make you stronger.
Yeah, of course.
But really, like I said, it's really made me think about life. It's like to me, I'm one of those guys that if my home isn't grounded, everything starts to ripple.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the foundation.
If you had to sell all your cars and only keep one, how many you got now?
I got a few.
I know, but like 35 or something?
The official count is 27.
27.
I just bought one, actually. My buddy Alex at Shortworks, I think you know him, up in San Jose, goes, you interested in a 944? I'm always interested. I go, first thing, does it run? He goes, yeah. I go, what's wrong with it? He goes, a couple of things. I go, how much is it? $3,500. I go, sure, I'll buy it. Will it make it to LA, you think? He goes, yeah. So I'm up to 27. The last count was 26. I just bought this car. I haven't seen it. I was asked how many miles are on it. I go, I don't know. I didn't even ask how many miles are on it.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter. It was like, will it make it from San Jose to LA? So to answer your question, if I had to sell every one and keep one, the one I'd keep would be 277.
27. Oh, the first. The white with the blue
like that little Hot Wheels I gave you. That one's the second Porsche I ever bought. I've owned it since 1999.
Yeah.
Bought it at the Pomona Swap Meet for $7,500. Did all my track days with the POC in it. So I've owned that car 19 years. It's the one I'm most comfortable in. It's the one I'm most associated with. It's the one I've done all the drives and videos in. So the sum of the parts of that car, it's a 1971 911T. I built it out to look like a 73 RS Carrera. Now it's more like a ST or a TR. But the sum of its parts is nothing really special about that car. It's not like it raced anywhere famous like Le Mans or Daytona. But I did a lot of track days at Willow Springs and half a dozen other circuits. But it's got sentimental value.
Right.
And that's important to me. I always talk about, a lot of people want to show me the cars, and people that want to show me a car with 50 miles on it, I got no interest in that car.
Yeah.
But someone wants to show me a car with 500,000 miles on it, that's interesting because it's got all the stories.
It's got patina.
Yeah, it's got character,
soul.
It's got history, it's got soul, and those things I talk about, they all develop over time. You can't build that into a new car. It's like passion. You can't bottle it and sell it. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
So to me, I've never really been into, I have this saying, dirt don't slow you down. In reality, it just relates to dirty cars or dinged up cars, actually have more stories and go just as fast as shiny ones. So,
well, in my eyes, that's the one to get it now because, I follow a lot of Porsche people, and I realized right away, don't get a mint one. In my mind, it was like, get a mint one because they're going up in value and it'll be low miles and I'll have it for a long time. And I have a real hard time, and I realize this is a character flaw of mine, of what I do is I buy something and all my money's in it. And if something happens, that ship will sink. Like if somebody hits, let's say you get a mint car and someone hits it and then all the value's gone.
Right.
That's I always look around my house and I call things parachutes. I don't have rent this month. I'll sell this, and that's my parachute. So everything is mint, even like my shoes. I keep clean, my wallet, anything. I'm a weirdo like that. I realize now to get a Porsche, it would have to be kind of a beat up one because I'm looking at like my buddy Marco at TLG.
Yeah.
He's had two beautiful cars come in fully rear-ended in 1 week because people are just texting and not paying attention and plowing into people.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So that's what my frame of mind is. Get one that's like 2011 or whatever, and if someone hits it, get another one.
I mean, people ask me all the time, what's the best first-time Porsche, if we're going to have a little bit of car talk for a minute. There's a Porsche for every budget.
Yep.
If you're not hung up on got to have a 911, $5 to $10,000 gets you a great Boxster. Great handling,
Totally.
entry-level car. That 924 Turbo I drove up in today, bone stock, that was a $4,500 car when I bought it.
Really?
Not that long ago.
Wow.
So there's a price point for everything. My goal when it comes to collecting is one of everything Porsche's ever made. So that's front engine, mid-engine, rear-engined, air and water-cooled. Because, there's a slice of the Porsche pie for everybody. Most people, when they think of Porsche, they think of 911. I get it.
Yep.
I've owned a boatload of them. I still do. But now it's about variety. I've got the 924s, the 928. I just got that 944. The next one on the list is 968. I've got a 914. So, for me, it's about variety because no two cars ever drive the same.
Yeah.
We were talking about what's that 1980 924 Turbo like to drive. Well, in stock form, it's not that spirited by today's standards.
What'd you say, 130 horse or something?
They claim 160. It feels
That's
like
hilarious.
It's got 130. It's got that exhaust leak. There's really no power below 3,500 RPM, which, sort of makes merging in and out of traffic on freeways. You got to plan ahead. It's a momentum car, even though it's a turbo. So, obviously I could make it faster, but the goal is to keep it like stock form because it's the closest thing to stepping back to 1980 is just getting in that car.
Yeah.
It's that two-tone.
It's got the checkerboard
It's
interior.
got the passenger interior. It's silver with the charcoal two-tone paint scheme on it. And, it's just an experience. I drove here today. I don't come to Hollywood very often anymore. I'm one of those LA guys that's kind of like a New York guy that doesn't go north of 14th Street, right?
Right.
So, if you're in New York, you probably get that reference. My reference in LA is I don't go west of Alameda unless I'm traveling. So, I get on the 101 Union Station. I drive up here. It's a beautiful day. I'm snapping photos. The sky's blue. These palm trees. The clouds are out. It's Hollywood sign. It's
Flashback to your old days.
yeah, like when I
Melrose.
came here, in 1986, this was my stomping ground. I
Yeah.
remember going to the Coconut Teaser.
Yeah, right there.
Which
right on
is
the
what,
corner.
200 yards from where
Yeah.
we're sat right now.
Yeah.
I remember going in there and seeing bands. I didn't have an idea at the time. I was 19. You had to be 21 to get in the Coconut Teaser.
Yeah.
So I kind of blagged my way in back then. And so, yeah, it's like a trip down the memory lane coming here to Hollywood. I had friends that were in this band called The Zeros.
Oh, yeah, Danny.
And Joe Knoll and Sammy Sirius and those guys who were from New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey or something. And
Danny's the sound man at the store.
oh, you kidding me?
Yeah, the bass player.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he did the podcast, Danny Dangerous.
Right. So they used to have the apartment right there on Highland and I guess what's one block north of Hollywood? Is it Franklin or Franklin?
Yeah, Franklin.
Right where the Hollywood and Highland is now. I drove
yeah.
I drove right past it. I'm like, those guys lived there in like 86, 87 and I drove past the Magic Castle, so I had to take a photo of that.
Yeah, you ever been in there? It's great.
I've been in there.
Yeah, me
It's pretty
too.
awesome.
So cool.
And I almost went up the hill to Yamashira's, but I thought, I don't want to be late for you, but, that's kind of, for me, going back in time when I come to Hollywood.
I really, really, really love Hollywood, and I really, really, really love New York. And I think the goal, and I've been saying it for 2 years.
Bi-coastal?
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like
100%.
you're already
I've been
there.
doing it right now.
Yeah.
But to have just a shitty little studio box in Manhattan, because my thing is, I realize in life, I just did 2 years out in the Valley, and I
818.
Yeah, 818, and I felt like I slipped back. I slipped into a depression that
The Valley will do that to you, even though it's, 3 miles over the hill?
It's crazy.
Might as well be a different country,
it's
right?
really weird, man. You might as well live in Oklahoma.
Yeah, kind of like that.
But I slipped into a depression, and I knew I was depressed, and I just kind of keep it to myself. But in this last week, even though
Everyone's going to hear about it right now.
yeah, but even though it has thin walls here and stuff, I bust out of this apartment in the morning. I walk around, and the energy is fucking electric. Same with New York.
That's what's great about it. That to me is what's great about Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
walked up there last night. I did a spot at Hooters across the street from the Chinese Theater.
Okay.
They got a show at Hooters. So I walked. And
What
I
was
like,
that crowd like at Hooters?
It's great, man. It's just like tourists and kind of people getting in from the cold and just weirdos. And
I love Grauman's Chinese Theater because
It's the
whenever I
best.
go, first of all, it's a great place to see a movie. It's like stepping back to the 20s, right?
It is the
But
best.
the freak show on the street out front never disappoints. Spider-Man,
Never.
Batman, Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like
the Joker.
that hasn't changed I've been here 32 years and it hasn't changed. And it's probably
Never.
been going on for 50 years.
The only
right?
thing that changes is the newer characters
Yeah.
get out there, like
Yeah.
Bart Simpson
Yeah.
or whatever. That area is you want to talk about writing some comedy? You just go down there and look around.
Plenty of material down there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The Frolic Room's still there, right?
Frolic Room is still there. That's my old hood. I used
Hollywood
to live in
and Vine.
Los Feliz right
Okay.
there, Gower.
Is Cahuenga still the trendy street?
Cahuenga, the problem with that area right now is heavy homeless. Man.
Oh, really?
Wow.
They must have all moved out of downtown because
Yeah, what's going on downtown? They still down there?
they are still there. I mean, in a sense, it's got worse. I don't even want to joke about it because I've been there downtown since '94, and it has got worse. I mean, the box is that area where, basically Skid Row, Fifth Street between 5th, 6th, 7th. Basically between LA up to Central. Fortunately, where I am, Arts District hasn't kind of made it east of Alameda. They're contained in that box, but they've made it all the way north up to the 101, and it's just I don't really know how people deal with that problem. It's out of control.
Yeah, I don't know either how you get yourself from homeless back up. You know what I mean? Because it's how do you get yourself even back going? I think. It's a scary thing, you know what I mean? I would definitely
Here's the interesting thing, and we talk about New York. I don't see nearly as many homeless people in New York.
I don't either. And it
used to be like that. It's like, where did they all go?
I don't know. Once Giuliani came in, he cleaned up all 42nd Street and stuff. But where did they all go?
I don't know.
But somebody told me something interesting about New York. They have way more shelters and stuff, so you don't see homeless people. They
On
have
the street.
a better shot to try to get.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge with LA is there's not enough beds. For
Right.
at one time I had a staggering statistic, like there were a couple of 100,000 documented homeless people.
Wow.
And beds, I think, for 20,000 or something like
a couple
that.
100,000.
Yeah, I don't quite know how they got that statistic.
Right.
But, I've talked to LAPD about it, and it's a challenge all around. There's a lot of mental health issues, and some people want to be there, some people don't want to be there but can't get out of there.
Right. I think it went back to Ronald Reagan when he shut down all the funding for that stuff back then when he was the president and just shot that shit in the street. That's when San Francisco changed. When I was living there, all of a sudden I was like, what's going on here? It just seemed to happen over a week period. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think the term homeless, though, is slightly vague. I guess it means you haven't filled out a census and have an apartment because, I'm not making fun of it, but there's some funny stories that come to mind. Having lived downtown for almost 25 years, one of my favorites was 4th Street Bridge in Santa Fe. There's this guy that we call Brad Pitt. It's not his name, but he looks like Brad Pitt's character
Fight
in California.
Club? Oh, yeah,
Not Fight
California.
Club, California.
Oh, yeah,
Early
yeah.
Yates.
Yeah.
So he kind of looked like early Yates, and he lived in this tent under the bridge. And
California's underrated.
that's a killer movie.
Killer film, man.
Hey, Del, what type of cuckoo bird takes a cactus on the road?
Oh my
So
God.
anyway,
Yeah.
here's my Brad Pitt homeless Adele story. This guy was living in a tent, and we'd drive by, and this is in the 90s.
Yeah.
We'd drive by on our way to Hollywood, and one night we drove by, and we could see a TV on in the tent.
Yeah.
So the guy had got a portable TV. He'd obviously got a car battery from somewhere. Homeless people are really MacGyver. They're great at hooking shit up,
Yeah, they
and
are.
surviving. I mean, it's the instant sink or swim survival
Them and
tactic.
meth heads could build a city.
Exactly. But yet he was watching a TV in his tent, and he was technically a homeless guy. And I've seen a few homeless guys who have cell phones and stuff. I mean, so,
Yep.
they're functioning in a sense. And,
Yep.
maybe it's a different kind of freedom in a way as well of, you can kind of do whatever you want to a certain degree. But,
Yeah, one thing I noticed about a lot of homeless people is they're not minimalist.
Yeah.
They got a lot of shit
Yeah,
with
they
them,
hoard
man.
shit, yeah,
they got
for sure.
like 4, 5, 6 shopping carts
yeah.
full of stuff. I'd tell you, the second I'm homeless, I'm completely minimal. I would have nothing but a couple pairs of clothes, a good jacket, and a sleeping bag, and try to start getting shit going. You know what I mean? Because you can always get more shit.
Yeah, that's
later
true.
on in life.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Stuff
that's
comes
my
and goes.
real eye opener in the last couple weeks is get rid of shit. How do you make income now? What is your income? Who do you work for? Like, you're for yourself. I'm just interested because you sold the company years ago.
We actually never sold serious clothing. We just stopped trading,
Oh.
It was another sign of, I started that business on the boardwalk in Venice, late 80s. It became serious in 1994. And by the time it got to like 2010, what had happened is Karen and I had lost passion for
That's your wife?
designing. Yeah, that's my
Right.
was my wife.
Right.
We'd lost passion and motivation. We always used to say we personally design what we like to wear. We don't follow trends. We kind of just did what we liked, and that became the trend. So what had happened is, in the early days, late 90s, that 10-year period into mid-2000s, we were going out all the time, seeing tons of shows. We had the retail store on Melrose. We're outfitting bands. But we fell into the film location business in 2000 when we bought
I remember you told me that. Yeah. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, we're still doing that. So I'll try and make this long story very short. 2011, we closed Sirius down. We didn't sell it. We just stopped trading. It got to the point where we'd lost motivation. Sales were dwindling. And it was like, wow, success is the freedom to do whatever you want to do, right? So
Yep.
why are we doing something we no longer love, we're no longer passionate about, and it's losing money? The film business was lucrative enough to afford us the opportunity to walk away from the clothing business. And then 6 months later, that film Urban Outlaw came out and kind of changed my life because now I'm traveling around. But to answer your question, the day job for the past 18 years, other than the clothing industry, the thing that pays the bills is we're in the film location business.
I get that. But are you working for Porsche now or anything?
No. I mean, there's kind of a misconception. This whole out-of-control hobby for me is just a collection.
Right.
I don't build customer cars. I'm not an independent performance shop like my buddies that, work on other people's cars or tune them or sell them.
Like
or
Rod
build them.
Emery and guys like
Yeah,
that.
like all those guys. They're all doing great stuff, but they're a business,
Yeah.
building cars for customers or modifying cars for customers. For me, it's a hobby. I don't do any of that. So when it comes to Porsche, I'm not an official brand ambassador. There's no contract, but I do events with Porsche. I spoke about those 2 drives in Colombia and Mexico City. I did the old-timer GP with the Nürburgring with them.
Do you do any kind of do they ever fly you out for like some meetings on, hey, we're thinking about doing a new car or something? Did you have any kind of reference?
No, there's no input with that. My involvement with Porsche is essentially with Porsche Classic.
Yeah.
So I do events such as Goodwood Festival of Speed or Oldtimer GP at the Nürburgring or at the Techno Classic show in Essen with those guys. I've worked a little bit with Porsche Exclusive. Those are the people that I say when dealer options are not enough. Let's say you're going to go buy your new 991 and you want to match the seats to that plaid shirt you're wearing.
Yeah.
They'll color match it for that. So my involvement with Porsche is basically on that capacity. Recently, I've done stuff in Australia with them, Colombia, Mexico City. In 3 weeks' time, off to Germany to do a German book tour. So where money comes in for me is, outside stuff. I have this little deal with 1552 on the Outlaw wheels that we designed together. I've got this book coming out, which came out last year in England.
Yeah, you got the book, right?
Yeah, I got on the top 10 London bestseller list and just got picked up to be translated into Japanese and German. So next month I'm on the German book tour, which ironically is at Porsche centers in Germany.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing 6 cities essentially in 7 days, doing a couple of shows in Stuttgart, Essen, Cologne, Bielefeld, Leipzig, and Hamburg.
Stuttgart.
Yeah, that's the home of Porsche and Mercedes, actually.
I think that is that Roger Coster's home city, old Suzuki RM racer.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah,
Truth be told, could be.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, it's the home of Porsche.
Yeah,
It's also the home of Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in Stuttgart. The crazy Germans, the Germans.
I'm crazy about the GT3 touring.
Oh, yeah,
You get the GT3 with no fucking fin.
Yeah.
I've never been a fin fan.
Less is more, right?
I do not like big old fucking
Big wings.
Fast and Furious wings.
Yeah.
I love straight back 911. Look,
That's a smart choice, a GT3 touring package.
I think it's the best car they make right now. Everybody's all crazy on the GT2, the new one. The GT2, it goes 400 miles an hour or whatever.
You can't get it.
Yeah, you can't get it,
Yeah.
man. They made 100 or whatever. It's like, no. What you're missing over here is the GT3. As you go down the highway, you don't look like, you're on Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
and then some guy pulls up next to you and you press the gas and you're fucking gone. And not only are you gone, but you're in a beautiful, luxurious, heated or cooled seat.
Hyper mode.
Oh my God, man, that car.
Yeah, that's a good choice. So I've never driven one.
I haven't either. It just came out.
I do have a GT3 myself.
You do?
I got a 996, so it's my
Oh, yeah.
first water-cooled 911. It's an 04. To me, it's one of the purest GT3s. It was the first GT3. The evolution, obviously, 997, 991, and up to the current one you're talking about. But I love that car. It's like a sharp chisel,
Yeah. You know what I'm fucking crazy over lately? And it sounds dumb, but I love the GT Macan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've driven that.
That
That's
car,
a pretty nice car.
It's just a kind of a burn around town, but you can put stuff in the back. Like if you got
It's practical, handles great.
couple
it's
French
fast.
bulldogs, like
Yeah, stick them in there.
Stick them in there, burn around.
Yeah,
Somebody hits it, you get another one.
I just spent 3 days in New York driving the new Panamera Sport Turismo.
Ooh, how's that?
It's a beast. It's a big car. I mean, but it's
big.
Fast. It's big. It's fast. It's expensive. It's like 175 grand.
And it's long as fuck.
Long. It's low. It's got a real presence on the road, though. I mean, that Sport Turismo rear roof line is just pretty awesome. And
My buddy's got that, the executive one.
oh, that's super long.
Russell Peters. So I drove that car.
That's like a limo. That thing.
Whoa, man.
It's like the executive hooligan car, I call that.
It's incredible. I tell you.
Why did he get the executive one? It's so long.
He's like that. He likes to get the best
Bit
one.
of a baller.
Yeah.
Does he drive it or is he driven in it?
A little of both.
Okay.
A little of both. But Russell Peters has.
There's plenty of room in that.
He's one of the biggest comics in the world, and he has
You
one
mean
of the,
tall or just big in size?
big. He does arenas.
Okay.
Like you go to Dubai and do
Wow.
like 100,000 people or something, But
Who else is big in the comedy world right now?
oh my God, Bill Burr.
Who are the top
That's who
dogs?
I tour with.
Okay.
Bill Burr being one of the biggest, and then Sebastian Maniscalco,
I don't know any of these
huge guy. Mark Maron, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's awesome.
Yeah, Rogan. These are the, of course, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
are still killing it. Dave Chappelle is at the height of his career right now, and I think he's in comedy for like almost 40 years or something, 35
Unbelievable.
years or something. So it's we're in a boom. And
Comedy's making a comeback, or it never went away?
well, comedy never goes away. I always say it's a lot like rock and roll. It's always there.
right?
Right. It's always there. And the people that know. But now it's really booming. And if you look back, comedy is always very big when we have bad presidents. Reagan, 80s, huge.
I guess you got plenty of ammo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Easy
Well,
targets.
I don't fuck around with that stuff because, the late night people all do all the Trump jokes and
Right.
stuff. But I think...
What is your style of comedy? I mean, truth be told, I haven't heard it. seen it.
Yeah. Mine is just observational, stuff, rants and stuff, stuff about this apartment right now. We'll be in there.
What else will you be ranting about tomorrow night at 10:30?
I rant about, legal drugs.
Okay.
I think all drugs should be legal.
Right.
I also will rant about, dumb people. Just people that
Plenty
are
of those around.
just rude people,
What about Hollywood hipsters?
You know, I love hipsters.
Do they get a poke out or not?
No, I love hipsters.
Okay.
Because what
So
I
there's no
love,
joking around there?
well, people shit
Well,
on
that shit's not funny or...
No. People shit on hipsters, and what I like about hipsters are they have passion.
Well,
Like-
I can relate to that.
Right.
I got a beard and I got passion, so I can relate to that.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather hang out with 4 or 5 hipsters and talk to them than just 4 or 5 just normal people that just are shells. You're
Right.
like, hey, what kind of music you like? I don't know. Hey, man.
Hipsters got a personality. In
Well, they're going to be into something like
yeah.
some denim, a car, a
Right.
record collection,
Boots.
audio, boots,
Yeah.
a watch, architecture. You know,
Yeah,
they're into something, and when they're into
I'm
it,
into all that shit. Does that mean
yeah,
I'm a
me
hipster?
too. Yeah, well, we are. We're old hipsters.
Old hipsters, yeah. There you go.
You into watches?
Yes, I am actually. My father was a watch guy, believe it or not. He what do you call him? Horologist, right?
Oh yeah.
So that was his thing, but it was kind of hard for him to make a living repairing clocks and watches in England.
Yeah.
In Sheffield. So I grew up
Sheffield,
around
the Def Leppard town.
Oh, well, we can go back further. Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker.
But yeah, Def Leppard, that was my band growing up. You know, I saw them 80, 81 for the first time.
Yeah, me too. High and Dry
High and
tour.
Dry.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh God, man! They opened for I think it was Blackfoot.
I remember when Rick Allen lost his arm because
Yeah.
they grew up in Sheffield, and that was like, it was either Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve.
Right.
Long, long time ago. Don't they live here in LA or Phoenix or something?
They're around.
They're around.
I think Rick lives out here. I saw him one day out there in what's the exit you take off of Virginis?
Las Virgenes.
Yeah, Las Virgenis.
That's actually a good road.
Yeah. I always take that
Yeah.
road. I love it to drive or ride.
those roads are
so I
great.
pulled off and hit the Starbucks, and there he was. I was like, "Whoa, Rick Allen!" You know, I mean, I'm a Def Leppard freak
Yeah.
up to the Pyromania record. You know.
Oh, fuck. I've lost his name. Who's the guy playing guitar for him? Who's a Porsche guy?
Phil Collin.
Yeah.
And then you got Steve Clark, who died, but he was a
Steve
car
Steve
guy.
Clark,
Yeah,
right.
remember Pete Willis was
I remember. Yeah. Well, he was replaced by Steve Clark.
right. No, by Phil Collin.
Phil Collin,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was it. That was-
He was in that band Girl.
Oh, I saw them actually.
Yeah.
Girl. They
Yeah.
opened up for Motorhead like 1981. Actually, 81, 82. They might have opened for Def Leppard if my memory serves me.
Wow.
Which is an odd thing at the Sheffield City Hall.
You go see bands at all now?
No.
There's great shit in New York, dude.
Well, Williamsburg, yeah, the last band I actually saw was in Williamsburg, the National Reserve, this sort of southern rock band that was probably, I don't know, 2 months ago.
Right.
At some club in Williamsburg. I mean,
You think you'll ever move to New York?
I really like New York. I've been spending a lot of time there. I could be like you, the bi-coastal thing.
Yeah,
for
right?
sure. I could do that. You know, we were going to talk about Sheffield a little bit, Def Leppard. You know, I got some funny stories, even though I was into heavy metal.
Right.
Phil Oakey from the Human League lived down the road from me.
Oh, wow.
I'd occasionally see him in the fish and chip shop.
Yeah.
You know, late 70s. But, you know, it's always been a musical town. You know, the early 80s, it was Human League, Heaven 17, ABC, Cabaret Voltaire. Then I guess in the 90s, it was Pulp, right? Jarvis Cocker.
Yep. Pulp. Oh, yeah.
And the current, you know, Common People.
Yep.
We all are. And then the current claim to fame, my mum jokes about it. I say my mum's the president of the Arctic Monkeys fan club.
Wow, they're from
Sheffield
there.
band, yeah.
Whoa.
I think the main guys out here in LA are. I don't know if the band's on a hiatus or they split up. But to answer your question, I don't really go see shows anymore.
No. Yeah. I think, you know.
I used to see a lot of them. I mean,
I'm really at that point in my life where I don't go, if I've seen the band 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
I don't go see them again. I'll go see new stuff, man. There's so much great new bands out. There's this great band from the UK right now called Shame.
What are they
And they're
sound
just knocking me out. They're kind of like, you know, they got a little bit of Pistols in them, but then they got a little bit of Joy Division. It's kind of punky, but
Moody
also,
punky,
yeah, man, I think you'd really like it.
shame.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be in London next week, so you never know.
What, hey, have you drove the track out there in Long Beach, you know, the Porsche Center?
No, I haven't. You know, I've been to the one in Atlanta. I was at the Porsche opening, which was a year ago, I guess. Well, probably 16, 17 months ago now, when it opened in November of, I guess it was 2016. No, I haven't driven the track.
I think you and I should go do that.
Either that or we should just go drive Laurel Canyon and head out to Mulholland and work our way out to those great roads out in Santa Monica Mountains.
Let's do that.
Stunt Road's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of hate it that they did the rumble strip in the middle because, you know, it's a little harder to use all that road now.
Little
but-
drift now. Yeah.
You know, my favorite road, though, is still Angeles Crest Highway
Yeah.
because you can do serious speed up there. It
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
on forever.
That place is amazing.
I love going
there.
out to Newcomb's Ranch. That's my favorite thing.
I love it up there, especially on a Monday.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, it's
God.
closed on a Monday, but there's no one out there.
Yeah, but I'm saying the
The
drive.
road,
you know?
for sure. I mean, take it all the way to Wrightwood.
Yeah, because I'm taking it all the way right there to Wrightwood, Big Bear, whatever. Yeah, that's an incredible. I used to ride that on my motorcycle.
I mean, that loop's pretty awesome. If you go up Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear,
it's beautiful,
and then drop down, you can pick up Palm Springs, Salton Sea, Ortega Highway, come back the other way.
It's incredible.
I mean, there's so many good roads out here. Whatever happened to the rock store out there in Santa Monica Mountains?
That's still going?
It's still going?
Oh, that's cool. Dude, that's insane on Sundays.
I guess
Jay
I've gone
Leno
there on the
goes out
weekend.
there every Sunday. He'll bring out some steamer or
Not
something.
open during the week then.
Yeah, they are
Oh,
open.
they are?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Is it like a Newcomb's thing, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing?
No, they're open, man.
Every day.
They just serve food, and they got a little store there and stuff.
Leno's the coolest guy, right?
Yeah, he's great,
I mean,
man.
talk about funny guys that are into cars. He covers all the bases. You know what I love about him is, first of all, he's such a passionate, genuine, down-to-earth guy.
Yeah.
Who's got the time of the day for everybody. I mean,
Totally.
it doesn't matter whether you're at a Mopar show in Woodley Park or you're at the Rock Store or Newcomb's and he's driving up there in a 100-year-old
Totally.
Alfa or Fiat or whatever it is. And when I first did his show, it was a couple of years ago now, but we took a drive around Burbank Airport in his 1902 white steam car, and
Yeah.
one of the most memorable drives I've had. But whenever you run into him, he's just always seems to have the time for a quick stop.
I ran into him at the Grove. He's like, "Hey, how are you? Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I rode the Indian out here. It's pretty good."
It's so down to earth, right?
Yeah.
But it's his knowledge, and it's not just the cars,
no,
it's the
it's
memorabilia
crazy.
and everything.
Yeah.
We're talking about less is more, but when you go to Leno's, it's almost the opposite of too much is never enough.
I wonder that because he's getting, he's not old, but I mean,
How old do you think Leno is? I'm on my age kick right now.
I think he's in his 60s. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe 68 or
I
something.
mean, he's still active, right? Doing a lot of days.
Oh yeah. Oh, that guy
Flying around
goes on all the time, and
Yeah.
he's doing comedy. But my
Doesn't
point,
he do something down in Hermosa Beach? And
yeah, he does it on
that's his
Sundays
thing?
at the Comedy Magic.
Okay. Did you go down there?
I do. I used to do Comedy Magic a lot. I don't do it anymore because
Too beachy.
No.
A little bit of beach humor for you there.
I love doing the place, but the way they set it up, you only do 8-minute spots. It's too far to go for 8 minutes.
Long way
You
to
know
go.
what I mean? I'm like, it's great to go though. They feed you this incredible meal. You do 8 minutes. You see a bunch of friends you don't see a lot, and
Your go-to spot's the Comedy Store?
I'll do 2, 3, or 4 in a night around here. Like last night, I
Who
did
owns
2.
a Comedy Store?
Pauly Shore's
Shores.
yeah,
I knew there was a connection there.
Yeah. So you're gonna come on Friday?
Tomorrow, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Definitely maybe.
Definitely, maybe.
Like Oasis. Definitely maybe.
Oasis. You said that 2 years ago when I had you on the show.
I did. I'm repeating myself. Definitely
Yeah.
maybe.
If you bought you think you'll ever buy a new Porsche? A
No.
new one? No.
I mean, I'll drive them.
Yeah.
People ask me that all the time. It's like everything that I own in that garage, I've never really spent much money on it.
Right.
So the cost of a new Porsche, you were talking about the GT3 Touring, right?
Yeah.
The way I'm buying cars, like my $3,500
That's like 9 cars.
944.
Yeah.
It's more than that. I'd sooner have like 8 or 9 different cars rather than one new car.
Right.
Because truth be told, with all the travel we've been talking about, I'm not really in LA that much to drive.
Right.
Recently, I've had the opportunity to drive a lot of non-Porsche cars.
Oh yeah.
Some
I
pretty
saw that.
interesting stuff from, F-Type Jags to Aston Martins to 720 McLarens.
Let me ask you this: what was that electric VW
Bus, the ID
like?
bus.
The new one.
It was kind of awesome. I mean, it was restricted, so it only did 20 miles an hour.
Oh, it did.
I had the opportunity to drive that at Pebble Beach
Right, I saw
last year. It was one of those things that just
Why did it
happened
only do
organically.
20 miles an hour?
I guess it's a demo car
Oh,
that's
okay.
not roadworthy yet.
Right.
So, it's drivable, but it doesn't go over 20 miles an hour. But it was bizarre. I mean, visibility is awesome in it. It was like kind of being in an upmarket IKEA display because the interior, I don't know if you've seen it.
I went and saw it.
Everything moves on the rail,
Yeah, I
right? That
saw it.
front seat
Slides.
Yeah, it slides and flips around and rotates.
Yeah.
And the steering wheel's like, it's almost square.
Space
it's really
age.
weird.
It looked like a Jetson
Real-
mobile.
It's like being in a Jetson type thing. But the visibility was great, and it really kind of felt like, wow, this kind of might be what the future is right now, today. So
Yep.
it was cool. I got invited back to, they had an opening here in Hollywood a few months ago that I went to, and ironically, I'm going to be at the Geneva Auto Show in like 2 weeks' time, and I'll see it there again. So I think it's pretty cool. It's a throwback to obviously the original
I love
bus,
it.
split window bus, and as
I love
futuristic
something
retro
like that.
styling goes, I think it's great.
I mean, what I like about it is it's, you know, it could be like the last car you ever get. You just get that, and it's just your machine, you know? It does everything.
For us with the less is more, right?
Right.
That's
right.
probably all you really do need right there.
Well, I was really looking at it as like you could tour around America doing comedy in it, have stuff in there, you know, and just kind of live, live around America doing stand-up, shoot a documentary.
Sounds like a great, funny road trip right there, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We should go on a road trip sometime.
Yeah, we should. You know, it's funny, you talk about road trips. I saw something in New York that was so cool. It was, but it wasn't meant to be cool. It was this family had pulled up somewhere. I'm trying to remember where we were. But anyway, they pulled up in like a Caprice station wagon.
Oh, right.
That was mint.
Wow.
But it was like the guy, I would assume, looked like he'd owned it since day one.
Whoa.
But it was like, wow, that's like it just looked kind of cool because you don't really see Caprice station wagons in great shape anymore, right?
I had one of those.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I used to tour it at playing music. It held the gear perfect in 4 guys, so we didn't need a van.
Yeah,
and we just cruised in a family station wagon.
Where did all those station wagons go?
Yeah. Where did they go? You know, the problem with those, a lot of those motors they were such these big beasts that they overheated and blown head gaskets, and then they just throw them right away.
Them, right.
Yeah.
Clunkers for cash.
Those are amazing machines, man.
Yeah, this one was like kind of cream white with the wood paneling down the side, and there wasn't a scratch or a ding on it. It was actually in Miami. That's where it was. I was in Miami last week. Ended up going to the Miami Boat Show. I'm not a boat guy, but are you a boat guy?
No.
It's funny. I'm a water sign. I'm drawn to water. But
what are you, Aquarius?
Cancer.
Cancer, gotcha.
Yeah, born July 7th, 67. So Miami Boat Show. It's at the Marine Stadium down there where they used to have all these powerboat races in the 80s. And this Caprice pulled up to the boat show, and it's just like, wow, everyone turned around and looked at it. But the highlight of the boat show was I went in this Mercedes AMG cigarette boat.
Whoa.
Which does 140 miles an hour. And we actually did 120 miles an hour.
Whoa.
In the Bay of Miami, Rickenbacker Causeway.
Wow.
Sort of Miami.
Are you seat belted in?
That's the crazy thing. No.
No?
They give you this little Mickey Mouse like life vest.
Wow.
And the seats are kind of like this couch.
Yeah.
Big and comfy. And we're doing, I swear to God, I kind of challenged the guy because I go, how fast are we going to go? He go, well, maybe 100, 110. I go, all right. So he gets up to 115, 118. And it was kind of getting a little choppy. And so he throttled back down. I go, it'd be really great if we got to 120. Third attempt, we got to 120. But the strange thing is no seatbelts.
Wow.
And the real strange thing about boating, I didn't realize this. I guess every state's different. But in Florida, you do not need a boat license.
Wow.
So if you had $2 million to go buy this Mercedes AMG,
$2 million bucks.
That's what it costs, yeah, apparently. That does 140 miles an hour. I guess with these speedboats, they're not measured in knots, nautical miles.
Oh.
It's miles per hour.
Wow.
So yeah, you don't need a driver's license. You just need a deep pocket of cash, and you can go buy 140 mile an hour speedboat.
Oh my God.
And there's no driver's license or boat license needed.
Just no rules. Just
That's kind of how it was, like the ultimate freedom. And it's funny, 120 on water, it didn't seem that fast. People say, oh, it's like double speed because of the water and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no seatbelts, no crash helmet, just hanging out 120 miles an hour on a boat in Miami.
Well, I've been touring with Bill Burr, and he's like one of the biggest comics. He got his helicopter license, so he's been. I
saw that you flew to Santa Barbara.
Yeah, we flew to Santa Barbara last week. A couple weeks ago, we flew to San Diego.
Where'd you fly out of? Santa Monica or something?
Van Nuys.
Okay.
So
get out and fly.
Oh yeah, man! It's really crazy though. We were in this $4 million helicopter.
How many people does that seat?
6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's like it's like a limousine inside.
How long did it take to fly from Van Nuys to Santa Barbara?
56 minutes. And the thing is
you went up the coast?
Yeah, right up the coast,
straight up
dude. It was a rare day, no fog out. We're flying and looking down the Amtrak trains coming. You know, we're just right over Malibu, into Camarillo, into Ventura, into Santa Barbara. And you know, we're doing...
So much for less is more. You're in a $4 million helicopter against Santa Barbara.
But, you know, I'm talking
Other people's helicopters.
But yeah, exactly. But I'm saying it's that kind of stuff that makes you lose all interest in anything. I got like 18 Metallica tour books at home. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck?
You took a helicopter ride.
But my point was, it was going 100 and I think 120 miles an hour. Couldn't even tell. It felt like to me about 50 or 60.
Yeah, recently I had an opportunity to do something similar, minus the comedy element of it. I got invited to do this Lamborghini track day at Thermal. It was like a press junket thing. Anyway, they flew us from Santa Monica Airport to Thermal Racetrack. You know, it's like 20, 30 miles outside of Palm Springs.
Right.
So that was quite an experience.
Helicopter or jet?
Helicopter.
Oh, yeah. And how many did that seat?
6. It was a pretty big one.
Yeah, that's what this is.
So
huge.
6 in the back. Well, I should probably seated 8 because there were 6 in the back and 2 in the front.
That shit's crazy, right? And they're like, now when you fly to like San Diego, when you're going down that Hermosa and Huntington Beach and stuff, those houses you see out there will make your head spin. These mansions hanging off the cliffs. I mean, they are goddamn mansions, man.
Yeah, a few years ago, I did a similar thing with my Dutch buddy. We did the LA scenic sunset helicopter tour, but he was a photographer, so they got it with the doors off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've done one of those where there's no doors on the helicopter and the seat belted in, but literally leaning out the back. And it went out of Van Nuys, went down over Malibu, sunset, over downtown, and then looped back around.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like a real great thing to do at sunset.
Oh, yeah. They'll be like, there's Axl Rose's house. You're like, whoa.
Exactly. That's Will Smith's house there. Somewhere out in the valley, actually. I'm like surprised. Will Smith's living in the valley, but he had some big mansion out there somewhere not far from Santa Monica Mountains or something.
I don't think I'm a mansion guy. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not a mansion guy.
I'm more of like a kick-ass brownstone in Manhattan. You know what I mean?
So, New York, we keep talking about it. Are you Manhattan or are you Brooklyn, Williamsburg?
I'm Manhattan.
You're on the island.
I realized why. I've been there for 2 years now. I love... I ride the subway all the time, but the problem is when
See many rats down there?
No. When you're in Brooklyn, the trains break all the time. Yeah. So, and then they're getting ready to shut down the L for a year.
I've heard about that.
So, my problem is during the day from Brooklyn to Manhattan, it's 2 stops, no problem, maybe 15 minutes. At night, you know, they're like, we're doing truck maintenance, and they take some other route, and all of a sudden you're like on the thing for 45 minutes, or it breaks down, or it's not coming, and now you're like, fuck, I could have just Ubered, or what, you know. So
maybe you need a bicycle.
I love to walk around the Village area. The Alphabet City to me is where I'd like to live, or Soho, right in there, you know, that area.
I don't think Brooklyn's that much cheaper than Manhattan.
No, it's more now.
You know,
it's more because it's all hip, you know. And also, I think
I will say one thing though. You know, in Brooklyn, you're on the east banks of the East River, looking at the Manhattan skyline.
Oh, it's cool.
It's like when you're in Manhattan, you don't see it.
You don't see it.
When you're across the river in Brooklyn in a straight line, what is it? 400 yards away.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's awesome.
It is cool, but I just love that thing of getting up in the morning, opening the front door, and walking around.
Yeah, you're right in it.
Here's my thing. If you get a place there, rent me a room, and there we go.
And New York, yeah,
we're good.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm down with the East Village, Lower East Side,
Alphabet City, Chinatown.
I mean, Alphabet City's changed. I used to do trade shows
that used
in
to
New
be
York. Nobody went to Alphabet City.
No, that was all junkies.
Yeah, you didn't go south to Tompkins Square Park or
that was
East,
Junkie City, man. Yeah. Needles, everything, you know.
Yeah, we used to sell this store called Trash and Vaudeville. It's still around. It actually moved.
It did move.
And the guy that worked there, Jimmy, I don't know if you know Jimmy Webb, but he opened this...
The blonde hair guy?
Yeah, he opened this new store called I Need More on Ludlow or one of those.
Yeah. I was going to interview him next time when I'm in New York.
Cool guy, super cool guy, known him a long time. It turns out he's big friends with everyone, all Axl and Slash and all these rock and rollers, and Iggy's his big thing, but he's also big friends with, why can't I remember his name? Trainspotting actor Ewan McGregor.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they just did a big story on his new store and everything.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which would be interesting to...
you should talk to him. He's got all types of stories.
Yeah, man. Well, fuck, it was so great to have you on
great
again.
Great being here, man.
I mean, awesome. I love seeing you. I don't get to see you enough, you know.
Well, maybe tomorrow night, 10:30.
I hope so, dude. Get out of the fucking house
Get out and laugh, right?
Yeah, and hang out. I'll buy you some beers. We'll fucking shoot the shit. You'll love it down there.
How long did you set tomorrow?
I'm just doing 15, but
Okay.
you can hang out for a couple hours, have some beers, and take in the lunacy of the Comedy Store. It's one of the best places in the world.
I've never been. It's on the list. It's a Hollywood icon, right?
You got to go because it's not, I'm telling you, right now, it's at its biggest of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this like the glory days of like, the
the
John Belushi days?
It's just like that. I mean, it's as big as that, of the Pryor and the, of course, Pryor started there.
Eddie
and
Murphy, right?
Eddie Murphy was in there, and Letterman and Jay Leno and all those guys back in the day,
So tomorrow night it is in 10:30.
There it is.
All right.
All right, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Tell everybody your Instagram because it's great. Magnus Walker.
Just Magnus Walker, man with a beard.
Yep, man. And then you got your book coming out. Is there an audio version?
Not yet. People are asking about the audio version.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah, you can get it in English, German, Japanese, possibly Spanish next.
Yep.
These I seem to have a following down there in South America. Looks like I'm making a trip to Sao Paulo, Brazil later on this year.
Rad.
And I just got invited down to Panama, so I may be there next month.
When they invite you, do they pay for the trips?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So, it's fun to go, see new places.
Oh, my God. Yeah, right.
I hear Sao Paulo is just out of control. It makes Mexico seem tame from what I've heard.
It's going to be great, man.
Talking to helicopters, I hear there's more private helicopters in Sao Paulo than any other city in the world.
Is that right?
Because all these ballers like your buddy, they can't afford the time to drive, so they just fly around in helicopters.
Right. That is so rad, man. Helicopters are spooky. They're awesome, but they're also kind of kooky because you're kind of like, hey, this thing, there's some homemade feeling about them, even a $4 million one.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to IKEA, right, and buying a helicopter flat pack, some assembly required. And hopefully you don't have any leftover nuts and bolts on
you're like, what's this?
solar-powered
I don't know,
IKEA helicopter. Yeah. How bad can it be, right?
They're so, they're kooky. They take a minute. The one I was in, the doors were completely glass, so it did feel like they were.
You could look down glass bottom.
Oh, my God. It felt like you could just roll out. Yeah,
Have you ever skydived?
Twice. I'll never do that.
Is that
again.
a tandem thing or solo?
Tandem back in the day, and whenever Hurricane Andrew was, that's when I did it because I remember I
seems like a smart move.
I
skydiving in a hurricane.
Well, after the hurricane, I skydived over the guy goes, "You want to see the wreckage?" And we floated over the wreckage, and
rocky like a hurricane.
Yeah, here I am.
That's right. How old's that song now? 30 years at least, right?
We're old dudes, man.
Scorpions.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming by. And
let there be talk, right?
Let there be talk, and it's so great to see you. That's Magnus Walker, guys. Subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, and also go back if you didn't catch the first time I had Magnus on. It was a couple years back. Find that episode and hear his whole story about how he got out to LA and started his life. Thanks, guys. Candles lit.